my name's Maya. Welcome. Today I'm going to be showing you every book on my physical TBR. So every book that I own that I still have yet to read, that I want to read. I have it broken up into middle grade, YA, and then adult. We're going to be starting with middle grade, then YA, and then we'll do adult. And then at the end I will show one classic that I have that I want to read, and then I have 4 or 5 books, I think, somewhere around there that I believe are YA, could be adult, so I'm just going to leave them to the end, show you them there. So yeah, we'll get right into it. I also have these kind of broken up into series, so if I have more than one book in a series, I'll just show you all of that series at once. So yeah, let's get started. So first up we have the Nevermore series. I have book 2 and 3 here. So I have the Wondersmith, Calling of Morgan Crow, and Hollowpox, The Hunting for Morgan Crow. Both of these are by Jessica Townsend. I read the first one, absolutely loved it, so I can't wait to get to these two. Alright. Next up I have the Inkheart trilogy. So I have Inkheart, Ink Spell, Ink Death. These are all by Cornelia Funk. And then I actually have read book 1, but it was a while ago, so I need to reread it before I can move on to the next 2 in the series. But yeah, so I have the full Inkheart trilogy here. Next up, I have a newer release that I've heard tons of good things about, and that is Amari and the Night Brothers by B.B. Alston. And so yeah, this is kind of like a fun new one that I've heard about recently, so hopefully it'll be good. And then next up I have Keepers of the Lost City Exile. So this is the second book in this series. I think there's 7 or 8 out. This is by Shannon Messenger. I have read the first one. I really liked it. And then next up I have Physics by Angie Sage. And this is book 3 in the Septimus Heap series. Yeah. Next I have A Tale of Magic by Chris Colfer. Looks like this. The hardcover on this is absolutely gorgeous. I love it so much. So yeah. That was all of the middle grades. So next I will be moving on to the YA section. It is bigger than my middle grade, but not quite as big as my adult, so hopefully we'll be able to get through it just as quickly. And again, these will be broken up into series as well. I don't have very many full YA series, or even like second or third book in YA series, so it's a lot of firsts for that. But so for first of our YA, I have Asylum, Sanctum, and Catacomb by Madeline Roux. I think that's how you pronounce it. This is a horror YA series, but yeah. I just recently got these. I don't really know a ton about what they're about. I haven't heard much about them, but they sound really good, so hopefully I'll enjoy them. Then next up I have The Diabolical and the Empress by S.J. Kincaid. I think this might be just a duology. I'm not 100% sure on that, but I think it's just a duology. And like I said, I've seen these a little, but I don't know a lot about what they are, so hopefully I enjoy them. And then next up I have Strange the Dreamer, by Laini Taylor. I have read her Daughter of Smoke and Bone. I read the first book in that series. Absolutely loved it. I'm hoping I'll love this one just as much. I hear tons of amazing things about it. So yeah. And then another newer release, I have The Girls I've Been by Tessa Sharp. And this is a fun new like YA that has been going around recently, so super excited to see that. Read that. Next up, I have Afterlove by Tanya Bryan. This is a new sapphic female book that I've seen people like getting, but I haven't heard really any reviews on it, so it sounds really amazing. I hope it'll be just as good as it sounds. And then next I have Alat's Away by Darcy Little Badger. So yeah, this I've heard amazing things from some of my favorite YouTubers, so that's why I picked this one up. And then so same for this next book. I've heard amazing things about it from a bunch of the booktubers that I watch and have heard pretty good things about it, so I decided to pick it up, and it is The Strange Case of the Alchemist's Daughter by Theodora Goss. And so this is a kind of Victorian era book about like Sherlock Holmes and Frankenstein's daughter and all that kind of stuff, so sounds really interesting. Can't wait to get into that one. Next up, I have a Cuban Girl's Guide to Tea and Tomorrow. And then I believe, yeah, I got this one in a book box, so it has like the little signature thing. Signature card, that's what they're called. So I honestly really don't know too much about this. It wasn't one that I like picked out for myself, but it's still on my TBR, so hopefully it'll be good. Next two I have are both female romances, I believe. Let me double check on this one. Yeah. So I think they're both, I know for sure one is, and then I think this one is as well, but this one is The Love Curse of Melody McIntyre by Robin Talley. And then next up is The Falling in Love Montage by Sierra Smith. And then so these are both just cute, fun, contemporary romances that I thought would be fun to check out. And then next up I have Kate in Waiting by Becky Albertalli. This will be the first Becky Albertalli book that I have ever read. I know she's written some other stuff that she's been pretty popular, but this is the first one of her books that's really interested me, so hopefully I'll enjoy her writing just as much as I hear everyone else does. And then lastly for my YA stuff, I have Lore by Alexander Bracken. And again, this is a newer kind of release. I think within the last year or two this one has come out. I've heard a lot of mixed opinions on this. Some people really enjoy it, some people not so much, so can't wait to see what I think. Okay, and then so that was all of my YA stuff. Yeah, that was all of my YA stuff, sorry. Wanted to check. Like I said before, we're going to start on my adult. So yeah. First up, I have Hot and Badgered by Shelley Lorenstein. So that's the first one. These ones I didn't do a series, so you'll kind of see that throughout if I have those. Next up, I have Bad Liar and Beautiful Liar by Lauren Rowe. These I also got in a book box, so they are signed, and so I didn't pick these out myself, so I don't really know what they're about, but they're on my TBR. Next up, we have Kiss My Cupcake by Helena Hunting. This I also got in a book box, but this just sounds like a cute contemporary romance as well. Next up is another one that I've heard tons of things about. That is Mexican Gothic by Sylvia Moreno Garcia. And so this is kind of like a creepy horror. And next up I have Broderick by Katie Roberts. This one is also signed and personalized, as I'm a part of her Patreon, so she does occasionally send out books for that. So if you're interested and you're really a fan of Katie Roberts, I definitely suggest checking out her Patreon. She's I think it's really great. She's constantly posting updates about her work and her books and stuff, so I think it's great if you're a fan of her. Next up I have The Fellowship of the Ring by J.R.R. Tolkien. This is the first book in the Lord of the Rings series. I have read The Hobbit, which is a prequel to this. So yeah, I just need to start in on this one. And then next up I have Switch by Megan Hart. And then this is just a romance book that is on the smuttier, spicier kind of side. So hopefully it'll be really good when I get to check it out. Next up we have Parallel, which I also got in a book box, so that one is signed as well. I don't know much about this, but it's like a past life kind of lovers thing, I believe. So hopefully that'll be good. Next up we have Mastered by Maya Banks, so another spicier kind of romance. And then I have The Seven Husbands of Evelyn Hugo by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've heard amazing things about this. So I think I have one other book by her, but I haven't actually read anything. This will definitely be the first one I start with when I get to her. But yeah, I've heard amazing things about this. It sounds absolutely amazing. And then next up in the stack I have The Bone Ships by R.J. Barker. And this is just a adult fantasy, so politics, war, there's dragons, all that kind of stuff. Your main components of a adult fantasy, but it sounds super good. I did start it at one point, but I had to put it down for a while. I loved what I read, and I can't wait to continue. And lastly, in this stack, I have Acceptance by Jeff Vandermeer. This is the third book in the, what is it? The Southern Reach trilogy. I have read the first one, which is Annihilation. I'm currently reading the second book, which is Authority. So I won't show it in this video because I don't know where it's at the moment, but I am reading the second book right now. But yeah, so we'll definitely be getting this one very soon. I absolutely love this trilogy so far. Very weird, super good. So yeah, if you love like weird kind of unexplainable books, check this out. It's really great. Okay. And then for my next stack, this will be the last stack of books I have to show you. This is still, or sorry, my next stack of adult before I then get into my one classic and kind of the others. So yeah. So I have All's Well by Mona Awad. This will be my first Mona Awad. She's written some other stuff, some weird stuff I've heard. I picked this up for the Literary Dead book club hosted by Kayla from Books and Lala. I'll link her channel and her book club and stuff down below if you're interested in checking it out. Definitely recommend it. She does thrillers and mysteries, and I think occasionally she does some horror stuff, but this is the September pick, so definitely will be finishing this by the end of the month. Next up I have The Maidens by Alex Michaelides. This is kind of just another dark academia thriller stuff. I've heard very mixed opinions on this recently. A lot of people have not been liking it. There have been some people who really love it. I'm kind of new to the whole dark academia thriller thing, so I'm not really sure where I'll fall, but I can't wait to find out. And then next up I have Firekeeper's Daughter by Angela Boyley. I believe is how you pronounce it. This is a super gorgeous cover. I absolutely love it. This is a new release as well, so can't wait to read this, kind of find out what it's about, but yeah. Let's see. Next up, I have The Midnight Library by Matt Haig. I believe this one came out last year. I saw a lot of people, I believe that's when I saw a lot of people talking about it. I heard this is another kind of weird book that kind of messes with your mind and makes you think, so hopefully that's true. And I can't wait to find out and see what it's all about. So yeah. Next up I have a sci-fi. I don't actually read very many sci-fis, but this one sounded really good, so I wanted to try it out. And it's Project Hail Mary by Andy Weir. This is also a new release. I've heard a couple people talk about it. They really liked it. I honestly haven't heard much, but it looks super good. I've never read anything by him. I know he has a couple other books out. So yeah, hopefully I'll enjoy this and kind of get more into sci-fi with this. Next up is Boo Rising. I heard this kind of goes with the 7 Husbands of Evelyn Hugo. So I'll be excited to read that one first and then get into this one and see how they connect, if they do it all. But yeah, so I'm really hoping I enjoy her writing and will enjoy both books from her. Next up, I have The City We Became by N.K. Jemisin. She is also the author of the 5th season, which I believe is YA, and then I think this one is adult. So she kind of wrote in both genres. I could be wrong, and this might actually be YA and not adult. So if you know, let me know down in the comments, because I could be wrong on this one, but I'm pretty sure it's adult. So, yeah. And I don't really know what this one is about. I don't really know what any of her books are about. I've just heard that she has really good writing, and so I decided to pick it up and give it a try. Next up, I have Imaginary Friends by Stephen Chbosky. He wrote The Perks of Being a Wallflower. He then wrote this. I heard from some people this wasn't really great, but it sounds really interesting to me, so I picked it up. I'm going to give it a try. Hopefully I'll enjoy it and kind of be a different opinion from people who didn't enjoy it as much. Next up, I have another really popular one that I think a lot of people have read, and this is The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue by V.E. Schwab. And I actually have the Owl Crate exclusive edition. So it has no dust jacket. It has really pretty like foil embossing on it. This is the back, the front. It comes with a ribbon bookmark and then signed as well. So next up I have The Priory of the Orange Tree by Samantha Shannon. So yeah, this one is definitely a chunker. It's 800 pages or so, I believe. Yeah, like 800 pages. So I am not sure when I will get to this one because it's very intimidating, but I'm excited to read it. It has dragons in it, and I love dragons. Who doesn't? So, yeah. Okay. And then, next up, I have The Queens of Innis Lear. I have not heard much about this at all from anyone that I follow or watch on BookTube or anything like that. This is by Tessa Granton. Granton? Yeah, I believe that's how you pronounce it. But another just like political adult fantasy kind of book. And next up I have A Crown for Cold Silver by Alex Marshall. Another just political adult fantasy involving war. Haven't heard much about this one either, so hopefully this will be good. So yeah. And lastly, in my adult stack, I have the Complete Regret Duet by Ali Martinez. I got this in a book box, so it is a kind of special edition. It's super pretty. Absolutely love it. It has the signature from the book box, and then it contains both Written with Regret and Written with You in it. So 2 books in this one. But yeah, it has some amazing like chapter art. Let me see if I can find it. It has gorgeous chapter art on the top of it. So yeah, and I did start reading it at one point because I have a bookmark in there, but I just had to put it down. So yeah. Okay, and that finishes my adult stack. So lastly, we're going to go into the one classic and then the kind of miscellaneous ones that I think are YA but could also lean towards like the new adult kind of age range that is out there. So first off, the classic that I own is the Barnes & Noble edition of Little Women and Other Novels by Louisa May Alcott. So it's a pretty pink, it has the sprayed edges, it's got the ribbon bookmark, and so this contains Little Women, Little Men, and Joe's Boy in it. It has super small font, so it definitely will take me a while to read. And I'll probably read like one story, put it down, read another story. So this will take me definitely a while to read, but I'm excited to read it. This is like the only classic I own. And then the last couple of books. So I have Foundry Side. I'm pretty sure this is YA, but it might lean towards new adult fantasy. I'm not 100% sure. Let me know down in the comments if you know if it's for sure YA or does lean towards that upper new adult category. And this is by Robert Jackson Bennett. Same thing for this one. I think it's YA, could be new adult. I'm never really sure with her books, but it is Crescent City, House of Earth and Blood by Sarah J. Maas. So yeah, I have read the first book in A Court of Thorns and Roses series by her. I absolutely love that. Definitely going to finish the series. I just don't have it yet. This will be my next read from her, so hopefully it's just as good. Okay, and then next up I have Small Favors by Erin A. Craig, and I honestly just haven't really heard anything about this book, so I don't really know what genre it is. I think it's YA, but again, like I said, it could be adult. It has an absolutely gorgeous spine though, super pretty. Yeah. Also has really gorgeous end papers as well. Okay, and then these last two I have House in the Cerulean Sea by T.J. Klune. I think this one is closer to adult than YA, but I'm not 100% sure. I've heard amazing things about this. I've heard that it can be pretty sad, but I can't wait to check it out. And lastly, I have When We Were Magic by Sarah Gailey. I have another book that I read by her, The Echo Wives. Yeah, The Echo Wives, sorry. Checking. It was right there. And that one was adult. So I'm not sure if this one is adult or if this one is YA. But either way, I'm very excited to read this by her. Alright, so that includes every book on my physical TBR, so every book I own that I have yet to read. It is quite a few. I believe it is close to 60 books. Yeah, so definitely a lot. Let me know down in the comments if you have a smaller TBR, a bigger TBR. Let me know if you've read any of these and if you think I should prioritize any of them. Which ones that you enjoyed, didn't enjoy, all that kind of stuff. So yeah, thanks for watching. I really appreciate it. Like, comment, subscribe. All my social medias will also be down in the description, so if you want to go ahead and follow me anywhere else, all of those will be there. Yeah, I hope you have a wonderful day. Bye.